Hi, I'm David Pere, and today I want to teach you how to create systems that will allow you to accomplish more tasks in less time. Now, building a business is extremely stressful, and one way to make it a little easier is to create systems that increase your efficiency. When you put systems in place, it frees up your time to more important tasks. So think about it this way. If you want to flip houses and you conduct the entire renovation by yourself, you can only flip so many houses a year. However, if you build a team that understands your business model, you can flip multiple properties at the same time. And therefore, you increase your productivity 10 times or more. Systems, like the team mentioned above, allow you to scale your business. One easy way to save time is by creating templates for things like emails, forms, drill holes, etc. I was mounting a television to the wall yesterday, and the box came with this mounting template for drilling the holes. I threw it out, or I would show you. It was as easy as locating the stud and then taping the template to the wall and drilling where it showed. And that is so much easier than if I had to measure the distance between all the screws and ensure that everything lined up with a level. I just made sure the template was level, taped it, and boom. A simple template like this saved me 5 or 10 minutes, and probably some unnecessary stress because that's annoying. Now, one of my favorite things to do is save email templates. So if you send an email twice, create a template for it. I have a Google Drive with 15 to 20 different templates in it for various things. Any time that I need to send one of those emails, I simply copy, paste, and address the email. This may not save me hours every time, but it definitely saves me a few minutes. And since I've filmed 60 plus podcasts this year, and there's 3 templates for that, it's definitely saved me hours throughout the year. This also eliminates the risk of typos and deviations in the messages I'm sending so that I sound more professional. Another idea would be creating templates for any forms that you utilize regularly. You could create a questionnaire, application, or even just a well-designed biography for interviews. So I have an entire press media kit on my website so that anytime I'm interviewed, every bit of information they could possibly need is centrally located. Not only is this much easier for me because I don't have to send multiple emails, but it also is easier for them because everything's in one place and they can decide between different website links, different quotes, different headshots, whatever they want. I also recommend having checklists, and I have a checklist for every time I film a YouTube video or podcast. That checklist has saved me many times from having to record a video twice because I forgot to turn on the audio recorder. And yes, this used to happen to me before I made the checklist, and there were other errors too. It also helps me remember things like to ask y'all to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. I have a checklist for turning over my short-term rental, uploading content, and all sorts of things. Really, anything that you do that you can write out a checklist for, if it's important, you should probably have one. I mean, pilots utilize a checklist prior to takeoff, and I would imagine that they have trained and practiced more than you and I have recorded podcasts, so there's no reason for you not to create a checklist for important tasks in your business. You also want to document everything you do. One of my coaches just recommended that I do this, and it helped a lot. I'm actually still in the process. This is my task organization, but then I also have a monthly tracker that I'm running so that I can see what I did this month. So for 1 month, you're going to document everything you do for your business. And I understand that seems daunting and will take a little extra time each day, but it will be worthwhile. At the end of the day, write out every task you accomplished for the day and be sure you were honest with this and the time it took. Otherwise, you really won't reap the full benefit of the tracker. The easiest way to keep track of this is through an Excel document. This will allow you to use the sort filter button at the end of the month in order to sort by various activities and see how much time you spent or wasted. At the end of the month, review all of the activities and break down the number of hours spent on each task. Then give each activity a rating based on how important it is. And now you can rack and stack to determine where your time needs to be spent and what tasks would be better off being outsourced, i.e., according to this chart, right, which talks about high impact versus high effort, low impact versus low effort. Make sure you're not wasting your time on things that take a long time but don't accomplish anything. Now you need to mitigate distractions, and I don't know about you, but I get distracted way too often. This isn't hard to do, and we often don't even realize it happened until we look back at how little we accomplished over that time. A prime example is that I downloaded TikTok last month after Gary Vaynerchuk recommended it as a viable platform. It is much more addicting than I had originally thought, and one day I looked down and realized I had been scrolling for almost an hour. Holy smokes, talk about a huge waste of time. A huge waste of time. I immediately began budgeting my time on this application, and it is still tempting to let it distract me periodically. Now, be aware of what is distracting you and put safeguards in place to avoid them. Also, don't blame the distraction, blame yourself for getting distracted. If you blame the distraction, the victim mentality, you'll never fix it. Now, emails are a huge time suck for me, so I recommend email sorting. So I know that if I see an email, I will spend time answering it. They appear to be an easy win, but realistically, they're more distracting than anything else. So I recommend sorting your inbox so that emails you absolutely have to respond to immediately go into a separate folder. Then only look at that folder in the morning. Otherwise, set a specific time to look at your email and don't deviate from it. Another option is to hire a virtual assistant, or VA, to go through your inbox. This VA could even respond to basic questions for you and ultimately keep the pile of emails from stacking up. I am working on the way to outsource this as we speak, but it's just I'm not really there yet. My emails are a large time suck though, and an easy distraction. I am so guilty of wasting time on this. A cell phone is another distraction, and you should put it in another room. So no matter how useful they are, cell phones are addictive and can definitely be a waste of time. There's a very good reason why smartphone addiction is on the rise. Smartphones, and more to the point, the apps that smartphone users install on their phones, are designed to addict users. Apps like Facebook and Instagram are specifically crafted to cause your brain to release a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine is a brain chemical that literally makes us happy. So every time you see that somebody liked a photo on Instagram or shared a picture of you on Facebook, it's like a small hit of happy drug to your brain. And for this reason, it is very difficult to ignore our phone. In fact, it can almost be like going through withdrawals. When I want to accomplish something important, I make it a point not to bring my cell phone into the office. I'll silence it and throw it somewhere out of sight and out of mind, lest it distract me from the important task at hand. There are also applications that track your activity on your smartphone, and some applications can even lock you out of apps in order to keep you from wasting too much time. You need to acknowledge how much time your phone is wasting and put safeguards in place in order to avoid it controlling your productivity. Wake up early. Now, I know you probably just rolled your eyes when I said that, but waking up early is a huge way to increase your productivity. My first alarm goes off at 03:55 or 4 in the morning every single day. That allows me to get through my entire morning routine and sit down at my computer to work before 80%, I'm making that percentage up, of the world is awake. I'm able to put in 2 or more hours of work on my side business before I even leave for my real job. In fact, I'm actually recording this video. It's 5:52 in the morning, so, hey, it is what it is. There are far less distractions in the morning. Less emails, less phone calls, less social media distractions, and the world is just calm. Not to mention that you'll feel awesome waking up early and tackling difficult tasks before the sun is even up. Now, there's also urgent important matrices, which is kind of like what I just showed you. An urgent important matrix allows you to rack and stack important tasks from busy work. That way, you avoid distraction and you focus your effort accordingly. I created a real estate specific investing urgent important matrix that you can download by clicking the link down in the description. Stick it on the wall and utilize it to wave off distracting tasks that are devouring your time. A great way to implement systems is outsourcing tasks to other people. In the last few months, I have hired a video editor, podcast editor, and an editor for all of my writing. And these editors have enabled me to produce more and more content in the same amount of time. Or I could do the same amount of content in much less time. And it's also higher quality than when I was originally producing the content. In fact, I'm not even editing this video. My buddy Marco is. I know some of you are thinking that you can't afford to outsource, and that might appear to be true, but perhaps you can't afford not to outsource. Sometimes it's just the way you think about it. How much faster can you build your business if you focus on the high dollar per hour tasks? The best way to decide what to outsource is by documenting all of your monthly tasks like we talked about, and then prioritizing them, as we discussed earlier. From there, you should outsource either the tasks that take the most time with the least bang for buck, or that you are the worst at, either one, or maybe just the tasks that you hate. But outsourcing is a powerful way to increase your productivity without increasing the amount of time that you work. So for me, I'm not terrible per se at video editing, although he's definitely better, but I take forever at it. So it saves me hours for every video. Now, automation is a wonderful tool A simple example is the 5-email welcome aboard series that people receive when they join our mailing list. Can you imagine if I had to remember to send 5 emails over the course of a week anytime someone joined up? That is the power of automation. Technology allows us to automate a lot of tasks in this day and age, and it is wonderful. You can automate sales funnels, onboarding procedures, webinars, paying bills, sending invoices, and a myriad of other things. One of the greatest ways I've been able to create systems is through cloud storage like Google Drive. I used to be forced to send multiple emails to my lender with W-2s, previous tax returns, photocopies of IDs, and everything else that lenders need. But now I just have it all in a Google Drive. And in that folder, I have subfolders for the previous year's W-2 tax returns. Then I have a miscellaneous folder with everything that kind of transcends over the years. And all I do is send the link to my banker. And if he needs anything else, he asks, which is very rare. But if he does that, I add that to the folder so that if the next person asks about it, it's already in there. Little tricks like this have saved me a ton of time, but have also mitigated annoying, repetitious tasks that I used to do. So go create systems. Too often, I see people put off the need to create systems because it takes too much time to set up a Google Drive, or what if my video editor isn't, insert excuse here. This is the wrong way to look at it. You need to think about the amount of time that you'll be able to save by creating systems. Do not make the mistake of putting off an hour of work up front if it will save you hours of work in the long run. Now, let me know what systems you like so maybe I can implement them. Comment down below what your favorite systems are. Have a great day.